Hey everyone, welcome back to our continued series in which we code a virtual bookshelf. This time, season 2. We're on our super fancy developer experience on steroids project, where we created a project with Next.js, SuperBase, hosted on Vercel, all super automagically set up by the good folks of SuperBase and Vercel for us. And we're continuing where we left off last time. My name is Nils. As every week with me, my friend Judith. How's it going?
Hello, hello.
Last week, we had a medium exciting realization of that the computer does not always help you and sometimes tries to trick you into a pathway to tech legacy. I think to depth when people talk about tech depth they have in their project and so on. I think it's easy to always slap on a new package to do something for you. And sometimes, we've all been there, I guess, you don't even know what the little robots are doing. And it's just giving you weird stuff that you
Yeah,
can't really understand anymore.
yeah, yeah. So I think we had this moment where we realized that in our case, two super simple handwritten functions are just much easier to understand and to maintain than using, I don't know, three libraries, which are kind of black boxes and we don't really know what they're doing. I'm still a bit bummed, to be honest, that Superbase doesn't give us a way to say that we want the column names returned in camel case. I'm
That would
thinking
be cool.
about, because essentially Superbase is also an ORM, right? Like Drizzle, for example. And I know it's
Yeah.
possible in Drizzle. You can specify the column name on the table and you can specify the name you want in your TypeScript code. So that's kind of what I'm missing here. I'm still
Mm.
not like, I don't know. Maybe we just haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
um, but
I mean, we did ask our friend, and it came back and said, Superbase does not provide an automatic way, but the friend doesn't know everything.
especially very new changes, I guess. Things
Also
that have,
true.
like, Superbase is still kind of the new and cool kid on the block, I would say. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe I'll just probably just take a note to look into that again. But yeah,
Nice.
for
Yeah.
now, I think we had found a good way to handle that ourselves. And now we want to actually create books.
Yes.
So
This is where we
for
left off last time. Like you already,
exactly.
right? Like we solved our snake case to camel case conversion by this very obvious and very lovely function. We just assign the snake case version of a value to the camel case version. And that's it.
Yeah,
And you
exactly.
already went ahead and did the version vice versa, so to say. So now what?
Now what? Yes, so we are gonna need this other version for writing books into the database. But I think first of all, we're gonna need a bunch of like pages. Well, not a bunch, but we need a new page and like some UI stuff. And maybe just for context for those, because we don't have any of that yet,
We
right?
have nothing. We
No,
have a
we have
list of
nothing.
books.
Exactly. So we need like a form and stuff. So
Woohoo!
for those of you that are new here, we did season 1 of this show where we basically did like a simple React single page application, which means we already have all the UI components. So what we're going to do now, probably in a first step, we're going to create a new page for creating a book, which I would just call /books/create. So that's going to be like the classic Next.js page. We're going to do the folder-based routing and everything, Next.js magic. And then in there, we can have our book form, which we are just going to copy over, I think, from our season 1 code. And I would say we start with that. Once we have that, we will look into how we can connect the form to Next.js server action magic.
Cool.
Cool.
So we have our books page. That's where
Yeah.
we're on now. That's the one that's also protected with authentication.
Right.
So we make a new page that's called what, like new?
I would say in the books folder, we create a new folder, which is either called new or create. I don't mind.
Create, of course.
And then in there, another page.tsx.
I love that all the major frameworks have kind of decided to converge on the on the folder structure routing approach. This is I just love that. Create book page like that, right? Return. So we have our layout wrapped around that. So we literally just need like a div and a form.
Yeah. I'm wondering if we should do another layout for the route protection stuff. So to check if we what do you think of that?
I love that. Because otherwise, on every page...
Yeah, we're gonna check the user again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do so can we just create like a layout TSX in here? In the books route?
Exactly. I will create that in the books route. Yeah, and then move the...
And then?
Yeah.
What do? We do also like export... Also just go like this, export default function protected.
Yeah, why not? Page.
Protected
Sounds
page.
Right.
Why not? Yeah. And then I can just steal what we have here yet, right? So I'm just gonna get our stuff. So the auth service. Right. Oh, I can't. Okay, hold on. So first of all, export default async function, then import. Oh, you did this like that, right? Import star. No, how did you do that?
Yes, like that. You don't have to do it like that.
No, you can. I'm happy to do it. I really like to stick to patterns like that. Then we're gonna need the redirect function from Next. So we're kicking out the user to the sign-in route.
Yeah.
And otherwise, we're rendering, well, we're actually going to take in children here, right?
Exactly. So that's the layout magic that we need, I think.
And do we actually return anything like in markup here? No, right?
I don't think.
And we just do this?
So, what?
Oh.
What's going on?
I thought I had to type the children up here. But maybe Next.js layouts work more magically.
Okay, let's see. So where are we? I'm just gonna look at the other, other layout.
The root layout does the same thing.
Yeah.
But maybe we can't do this. Like maybe it actually has to be like a fragment and then like that. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
This looks fine. We can call it protected layout or whatever.
Yeah, why not? Just to make sure that, this is not a page, but a layout.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Call it protected layout. And then I guess we would...
Then we can take this out, eh? In the page.
Whoops. Sorry, where are you?
I'm on the books page. So here we should probably be able to throw this out.
And then just kind of wrap the protected page layout around that div, I would say.
And like, do we have to do that? Or does Next do that for us?
Oh, good question. It Does
Because
that
in
for
SvelteKit
us,
land,
right?
as soon as you add a layout file,
Yeah,
that
true.
happens automatically.
You're completely right.
But I'm not sure
yeah.
if it works that way in Next. I mean, we can just try. Like, so if we're on the books page, we do see our books. If we sign out, kicks us out.
And
So
if you navigate now to books,
yeah,
nice.
getting
Cool.
redirected.
And that's all we need. All right, that's cool. I'm happy with that.
That's very nice. So here we just literally, this is so nice. These separations of concerns. And we just had to create this. I just love that, really.
Nice.
Okay. Back to our create page. So that's protected now, which is very cool.
Yes. Okay, now I guess we need a form. I'm just checking what we did in season 1.
Yeah. So we're actually going to try to simplify stuff.
Yes. In season 1, we used React Hook form, which I think is one of the standard solutions for handling forms in React single-page applications. But we are going to try and make do without it, I think. So we are just going to use a classic HTML form. And then on that form, we can specify the action where we will link our Next.js server-side action. So that's going to be all the Next.js magic. But for now, I think we will have to add some inputs. We could just use the standard HTML inputs, but I think we are going to use the ShadCN versions of it. Just because we have that library already, and then things look a little bit nicer. So I think in the first step, so ShadCN, for those of you who haven't used it, it's a UI library. I like it a lot. I think we like it a lot. It's super simple. The look is very sleek and minimal, I would say. And it's not, you don't install it as an NPM package, but you just add the components that you need and they will end up in your code base. So yeah, that's the command basically. Oh yeah, maybe we need that form as well. So that uses React Hook form.
This is how we got to it.
Yeah. But what happens if we just use the input component? So if you go to input, what if we just use that one in our HTML form? Can we try that?
That looks very straightforward. I really love that, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right. So I do this, like I go in this thing here.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that. npx ShadCN latest. So this is what you're saying, right? Like you use the ShadCN, you execute the ShadCN package with the command to add an input, and that doesn't install in your package JSON or whatever. It just makes some code and chucks it into your code base.
Exactly. So this is basically just the CLI. You could totally go ahead and just copy the code from the ShadCN repository if for some reason you didn't want to. We already have an input. Probably it was part of the boilerplate. So it should be in the UI folder. It's already there.
We got it. Would you like to override it? Nope.
Well, then no.
Actually, back to this.
Then let's try to add an input.
Right.
Yeah.
Input, we have it here.
Yeah.
And label. So this behaves just like, because it's like, if we look at this, this is really like a styled HTML input, right? Like this is what it has on it as the styling classes, and the rest is just a regular input. So I would even argue that we go, do we have label too? Yeah, we have label too. Perfect. So we're going to do the title, and then I can do the input.
Yeah.
Perfecto. Don't need this thing here. And let's see if we're getting something already. Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. This is nice.
Totally.
I'd say let's add a placeholder here.
Mm-hmm.
Title, or like what's a...
We always had the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I love that. Hitchhiker's Guide.
You could choose a shorter one as well.
No. I love it.
Nice. Cool.
All right. What else do we have?
All right, let me check. We have the title. Next, we have the author.
Yeah. Author.
Yes. Then we have the publication year.
Publication year.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Which should probably be...
Is this snake case? No, this is actually like in HTML land, we're doing dashes for IDs at least.
So, yeah. It's so confusing, right? Like,
It's
why?
Why? Hey, web development community. Can we just decide for one thing? Yeah.
Anyway.
I think even if you try to, like, off topic, but like if you try to create a CSS custom property in camel case, it's not happy about that.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be dashes and all lowercase.
Yeah. Cool.
What else?
What do we have? Do we need to make this into a number, basically?
Oh, yeah, very good catch. Number.
Maybe we can update the placeholders as well.
Oops. Yep.
We have the full description and personal notes.
Oop. Description. Description, yeah. Then personal notes is going to be text area, right?
Yes.
Text area. Ooh, we don't have that one.
Okay, let's see.
Is
text.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's its own thing. All right. So we'll do what we did before, only for text area. Awesome. Turn on the server again. And go text area. And it just magically appeared in there. This one doesn't need a type. Thoughts about this book. Yoink.
Nice.
Perfect. Personal notes. Personal notes. Awesome.
Cool.
Is the description also a text area?
Good question. Do we want it to be? I think it could be a text area.
Yeah, right. Text area. Cool.
Nice.
This book is about this and that.
Nice.
Let's have a look. Ta 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 ta. Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
Now, do we first want to try saving things, or do we first want to get our fun little interactive star rating component to work again?
Let's try to make like this super straightforward record of the inputs here. And then we can do the rating thing. Like, just as a reminder too, like the rating is just on the database. It's just a number, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's what we had in season 1 initially, just in form of a number input with the min and max attribute. And then we had this funky component where you could like hover over the stars and it would, give this effect and so on. Yeah. So let's do that later. Mm-hmm.
Cool. In that case, I think it's time for some Next.js server actions. Yeah. So right now we are not really doing anything with our form data. Mm-hmm. So I would say we could create the action in line in this function, but I think prefer to have an actions folder. So maybe let's create an actions folder. And in there, maybe just a file called book actions.ts. That's one thing that confuses me sometimes a little bit about Next.js. Mm-hmm. So like the new version we are using with the app router, all pages inside the app folder are server components by default. So you have to specify use client if you want to create a client component. But for server actions, you specifically have to add use server to make it a server action. So it's like...
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What happens if you don't? Then it also runs on the client.
I think maybe it just doesn't work. I don't know. But we're just gonna add use server to the top of the file. You can also, I think, add use server to single functions. But in this case, that's why I like to group all the actions in one file, because then you can add, just add the use server directive to the top of the file. So we are gonna have probably an async function. Oh, is it async? Maybe, I don't know.
They probably are, yeah.
Not get books. Create book action. And that, I think, has to get as input form data.
Yes.
Which is form data. So we have our books service somewhere, right? So we are gonna import. Let's stick with that notation of import star as books service. That seems to be wrong. Services. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Wait. What does book service take? We don't even have that function yet.
No.
So, I forgot about that.
I think we just have to get yet.
Cool. So let's start with that actually. Let's start with an async function, create book. Okay, what does that one get? This one gets a book probably, right? Book. And then, yeah, that looks about right.
Wow. Did you get this from season 1?
No, Copilot. It just magically.
Really?
Yeah,
Cloud.
Suggested that. But I'm just going to check the SuperBase documentation just to make sure that we're doing the inserting correctly.
Yeah. Are we inserting an array?
I think that's the weird thing, but I don't know if we have to do that. I'm going to check the JavaScript client. I don't think we have to. No, I think we should be able to also just do this.
A single one, yeah.
Cool.
And now export create book thing, I suppose?
Yeah, and I don't think we need to return anything here. I mean, later on we can return like a success object or whatever.
Yeah.
Ooh, no, at some point. what we actually should return is probably the ID of the newly created book. Because typically, so we don't have a book detail page yet, right? But typically you would create a new book and directly navigate to the detail page of that book.
And then it's nice to have the ID right away.
So I would say this one also returns a book DTO. So we're gonna do const data like so. And then, so this one is gonna return a string, I would say, which is the ID. So here,
data ID.
Exactly. Or maybe we can do data dot ID.
Yeah.
Or null. So it's gonna return string or null. Is it happy with that? No.
Number or
the
null?
ID is a number. Okay, I'm totally fine with that actually. Don't care.
Is that even true?
I think so, because I mean we set our ID as a number. I guess that's the way we defined it probably in our SuperBase table.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because we have kind of numeric IDs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have UUIDs or something. Then it would be string,
cool.
I guess. Yeah, and I would say like in a real world production application, this would more likely be a UUID and then a string. But for us, like our books are 1, 2, 3, 4.
I see. Yeah, cool.
Cool. So let's export this. Oh, you're already exporting it. Dope. Create book. Then here, I guess we have to, deconstruct this a little bit. So the title is probably form data dot get title. This is probably where we could really use some Zod magic later on. But maybe we try it like this for now. By the complaining.
Form data entry value is not assignable to a string.
Okay, what's going on?
I mean, do you even have to send a blank string here? You know.
Yeah, because I think it can be null.
Let's maybe try and see what it does when we don't do that.
Then it says type null is not assignable to type string.
Oh, form data entry value or null is not assignable to type string.
Huh.
Interesting. React server actions. Let's see what they're doing. So async function request username use server. That's exactly what you said. Like,
yeah.
Right? Like they're marking this one to run on the server. Then they're getting the username from form data, get username. That's literally what you're doing.
Except in TypeScript.
Except in TypeScript.
Things more complicated.
So,
okay, so let's see if it works if we do Zod things.
All right.
We had the form schema in season 1, so I just copied it over. Do we have Zod installed already? I think we should have. Oh yeah, no. Oh no, we don't.
I don't think so.
I thought it would be there somewhere.
No.
What? We have everything but not Zod?
Yeah, we even have Radix UI.
Okay, well, let's install Zod. What do you think?
Sure. Let's do it. All right, so npm install Zod, just like that?
Yes, let's go.
Bam. All right.
Bam. And
Okay.
then, where's my action? Yes, so we have the form schema.
Hmm.
And then I think we can say validated data. Okay, I don't like the name. Oh, form schema.parse. Do we need all of that? Can we just say form data? Yeah.
Very cool.
And that one we are gonna call a... hang on a second. What does this return? Because that can return an error, I think. Oh no, it should be fine.
Parse.
Because there's also the save parse version, which I think returns an error.
Oh.
When there's a parsing error, And we should handle that at some point.
Property ID is missing in type.
Obviously, because we want to create the ID.
So we got to do the omit thing here?
We got to do the omit thing. Actually, which of our fields are... Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, because title is the only thing that's required, right? So yeah, we're gonna do the omit thing. What's the syntax? I think book, like so. Now we have our convert functions that also want the IDs. Maybe the convert function can take a partial. Like so. Whoops. Yo, what? And it returns a partial as well. I have no idea if this is working. Why is it creating HTML? Okay.
I honestly don't know, but this probably has to be closed.
No, stop it.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. Yeah.
This looks right.
That looks better, right? Does it work like that?
Oh.
And then let's try it here as well. So this is a partial. I think that's my autocomplete.
Yeah.
And this is also a...
This is where it gets weird with the...
Whoa. Okay, but it's still...
Well, so now this has a waterfall of stuff to it.
Yeah.
But hold on, let's think about this for a second.
Yeah.
So when we read a book, then we want the ID to be present.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when we're creating a new one, then we don't have it. Oh, well, but that's what we're doing. We're trying to tell it, look, this can be a partial book. I'm afraid we'll have to do some research here, no?
Yeah, totally. I mean, we can absolutely just define another interface for the book DTO. So kind of like, we're not going to do it now, but something like interface, like create book DTO, and that would then be the omit book ID,
I see. Yeah, that's probably
the way to go.
It's more
but
explicit,
we might have to
right?
do that next week.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, we made it this far. And yeah, I think it's just always very interesting how, if you really want to understand what's happening, and it's just a little bit more work than you think. Right?
Totally.
Yeah. But we'll make it there, I'm sure. I remember that this part was also had to be removed before we really got going on the first season. And so, we'll finish this next week. And we'll then integrate our star rating stuff. And we'll do the whole assigning books to users and so on. Right?
Totally.
Because that's also new and has to be done.
And also, I think form validation in Next.js is a bit interesting as well. Because it tends to happen server-side.
Yeah.
So that's like whole big ordeal that we haven't even touched, but we probably should.
We should go on client and server side, right?
Yeah.
All right. But that's definitely for 1 or 2 more episodes, I would say.
Then see you next time.
See you next time. Thanks for sticking around. Bye.
Bye.